right, training sucks. All right, yes, I am filming this on a road, so we're gonna have the cars passing, so hopefully you can still hear me as they're passing. Just got done with the last training run before the half marathon in 2 weeks. Training sucks, it just does. I have kind of been beating myself up, like how am I gonna manage this? The 50K towards the end of the year, and the training is just rough. I'm not staying on point with my training plan. So, but today's run definitely helped, and it's what I needed. We did a 7-mile run just to kind of mimic part of the half marathon we're doing in 2 weeks. So we're starting high elevation, and it was mostly downhill, a few hills going up, but mostly down. My time increased dramatically. It was crazy. I think I ended up averaging like 11.5 the whole time, or 11:40, which was totally awesome, which is where I used to be for the marathon a long time ago. So it definitely helped. Felt good. And what was actually better about today's run is that I ended up running through a race, which was totally crazy. I have never been in the middle of a race and not running the race before. So it was kind of cool. As I was coming down, they were all coming back up. So I was catching the front of the pack, the mid pack, the back pack. I was catching all of them. And there's so much energy in a race, and this is why you sign up for the race. This is why the training, even though it sucks, it's worth it, because the run is what's fun. It's so much energy, it keeps you going. Just running past them, I was cheering them on because I was in the beginning of my run, so I had a lot of energy, and just cheering them on. And as the pack started getting bigger and bigger, they were cheering me on as I was running down, when you get cheered on in a run, it definitely helps. It's that energy. So races are supposed to be fun. For those who've never done one, when you go, you'll see it. So cheering each other on, like I said, it was kind of awesome. Side note, it also reinforced the differences between trail running and road running. I love trail running races. The people in trail running races are amazing. I saw it more so in the beginning, the front pack of this race, because as I was cheering them on, they wouldn't even look at me. They were just straight on running. They were just focused on going first place. When I did the NORAD race was 1.5 years ago, the guys in the front pack were totally cheering me on. So that is the huge difference. Even though I was getting the cheering on in the back of the pack, and you're always going to get that with the middle and the backpackers, which is totally awesome. They're my favorite crew. I just thought that was the big difference between roadies and trail runners. But anyways, where am I? 2 weeks left. We'll do a short run next week, and then we'll be in Durango for the half marathon. I'll be filming some of that, and I'll see if I can get some filmage of the beer festival afterwards. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. All right, we are in taper week finally, which is the week before the race. So I wanted to do a quick video to kind of wrap everything up. Tapering, for those who don't know what tapering is just you start slowly cutting back your mileage per week before the race. For tapering, it could be anywhere from like 1 week to 2 weeks, all the way up to 4 weeks. It really depends on how you're feeling, your skill level, where you're at in the distance of the race. So it really goes by how you're feeling. Mine tend to be about 2 to 3 weeks. That's my staple. 2 to 3 weeks out, I start cutting back the mileage. I've heard other people, they only need 1 and it totally works for them. Someone else needed like 4 weeks. So it really depends on what you need to start slowly cutting back your mileage. Now, I was supposed to do 5 miles last weekend. Didn't get to it. My princess kept us up all night Friday night, so woke up super exhausted Saturday, so I didn't get the run in. In fact, I think I was actually exhausted the whole day. My princess, for those who don't know, she is a 15-year-old German Shorthair Pointer, and I call her Princess because since day one, she has acted like one. Anyone who's ever had a GSP, you know exactly the behavior, personality I'm talking about. She has been sassy, acted like a princess since day one. So she's in that phase because she's 15, that she has some great days and then not so great days. So you start to think, well, maybe it's time to put her down, and then she'll have some great days. And so Friday night was a bad night. She kept us up all night long, so that was rough.
She is actually doing better now. She's having some issues with her back hip, but she is hanging in there. She is stubborn like her mama, so she is definitely hanging in there. We're just gonna have to keep an eye on her. She seems to be doing a little better, but we'll see where this takes us. So anyways, got the run in today. We ended up doing 3 miles. I definitely needed it because it had been over a week since I ran, and I've noticed when I space out my runs too long, my legs are, I don't know, I call them stale. They're hard. Like, I have to get them warmed back up, and so definitely needed to get that run in today and felt good. Won't run the rest of the week. Tomorrow, which is Wednesday, I'm only gonna do probably some kind of like weightlifting, something light tomorrow, kind of some light physical activity. Thursday, not going to do anything. Friday, definitely not doing anything because we will be in the car half the day driving there because it's going to take us about 5.5 hours to get there. So we'll be in the car most of Friday. And then I'll be all set to run the half marathon on Saturday. Can't wait. But for foods, what I'm doing this week is I've actually started back on my healthy cycle where I cut out a lot of processed sugars, processed flours, processed meals type of thing, foods. No breads, nothing starchy in that aspect. I do have quinoa, I still have potatoes, still have fruit, vegetables. I will still eat those types of things, and I notice a huge difference on my gut when I do that. I tend, like, so far this week I've lost like maybe an inch off my stomach because all the inflammation from the processed and floured foods and water retention. So I probably dropped a couple pounds of water weight already, so feeling so much better because I went into last weekend feeling bloated and it was starting to impact my back, my lower back, and I definitely do not need that during the run. So feeling a lot better now, trimming up a little bit. I think this Thursday night, or definitely by Friday morning, I will start ramping up on the carbs because I did cut down my carbs as well when I do this. Definitely increase my proteins and my fats when I do this for the energy. But I think starting Friday morning, I'm gonna slowly ramp up my carbs, maybe a little bit more potato products, maybe some quinoa, something in that aspect, more fruit, kind of ramping it up to get ready for Saturday. Friday night, we are already planning burger and fries. I'm so looking forward to that. Not sure how much of the bread I will eat, but definitely the fries are awesome, like for me the night before a run. So there's definitely my carb loading there. On a side note, carb loading should actually probably happen the whole day the Friday before. I know the old school way is to do carb loading the night before, lots of pasta, bread, stuff like that the night before. They have actually come out with several articles telling you you need to kind of carb load throughout the whole day versus just at the night. So starting first thing in the morning, carb load in the morning, adding some more during lunch, and then tapering off by the evening to give your body time to process all that. And plus, when you carb load at night, it puts so much stress on your gut system for the race the next day, and you don't really want that. So they're saying, you know, start carb loading earlier in the day versus just the night before. So just a side note there. So that's where we're at on the foods. My training, my goal is to run 2.5 or 2:45 for the half marathon. Slower than my fastest time, but I also have to keep in mind I am starting at 8,000 feet, and I have to remind myself just to have fun. Running that other weekend in that, catching up in that race, just remind me how much fun races are, and this is why they're addicting, why people sign up for it, because just the energy and everyone cheering each other on and the camaraderie that's going on. So I just have to remind myself to slow down, just enjoy it, but I also know I am stubborn and hard-headed, and I'm going to push myself through this because I have to be, in my head, I want to be 2:45, so that is what I'm shooting for, and definitely beating three hours. I have to be 3 hours. But I also know this is probably going to be a really fun race. I'm really looking forward to it because at the end of this race, everybody gets a mug, and if you're over 21, you get some beer too. So you have that, plus half these people are going to go to the beer festival afterwards, and so I foresee a party crowd coming up this weekend at this race, and they're always so much fun, so much chatty, and so much going on in the race. So I'm totally looking forward to that. I think that's it. So wanted to touch base. You guys have a great week. Make sure you guys are doing at least one thing today that's going to get you one step closer to one of your goals. And this weekend, I'll make sure I'll get some videos and try to get some pictures taken, of the race and the beer festival as well, and post that next time. All right. Talk to you guys later.